What's up, you little hobgoblins? We got a card, UFC 315 in none other than Montreal, Canada, and I'm absolutely bummed out about it because I am from Montreal, Canada. I'm not there right now because I'm in Whistler training for skiing. Bruh. UFC never comes to Canada, so we never get fight cards, so you never get to see any fight cards in person. But to be fair, these tickets are like $500, $600 for literally Belal. Like, JDM, I'm down with it. But Belal, dude. Belal. And, like, the rest of the card isn't great. It's, you know, it's enough that, like, as somebody who's a big UFC fan and does MMA and stuff like that, who's never been to an event, you're probably going to go. Like, I probably would have forked out the money to go, but I wouldn't have been happy about it. It's not like this is the sickest card ever. But still an okay card. But we did lose, like, Gilbert Burns on the card. They moved him to the fight night. Anyways, we're going to go through the card top to bottom. I'm going to give you guys my predictions on the fights. There will be a little bit of bias here because there's a million Canadians and literally a million other people that aren't Canadian. But I'm going to be 100% honest with you when there is bias involved. So, right off the bat, we got Brad Katona versus Bekzat Almakayev? Almakan? I think that's how you say it. I really don't understand. I mean, I know Brad Katona's Canadian, but, like, he doesn't live in Canada. I think he's lived in the UK for, like, ever now, so. But he is a good fighter. Like, Brad Katona's won the Ultimate Fighter twice. He's very well-rounded. He's very skilled. Looks like he's been on the fucking sauce in this video, man. Like, look at him. He looks just yoked at, I think he, 145? No, it's 130. This is a bantamweight belt. 135, yeah. But he looks absolutely yoked for 135. He's had some issues in some of his matchups. He's one of these guys that's, like, very, game plan oriented, very focused on game plans. Like, he's gonna follow game plan, and he is very good at winning fights. He has had a couple like losses recently, not recently, but like in the past. Only 4. He's 16-4, so not bad. But he is a very good all-round fighter. But Bekzat Almakan is very good as well. Like, he's a very strong, very, I guess, bruiser kind of style of fighter. He's got good striking. He's very technical. I just think Brad Katona in this one is a little bit too well-rounded that he's going to probably get it done. I don't see him finishing Bekzat, but it could happen because Bekzat's going to be coming forward looking for a finish himself. I think, if anything, Brad Katona is going to hold his own in the stand-up. He's going to do okay. He's going to do quite a good job. And he's going to mix in a lot of grappling and takedowns and stuff like that. That's going to make kind of the difference in this fight to win a decision. That's my pick for the first fight of the night. Guys, don't trust all these picks. I'm not the best picker in the world. I'm not going to lie. It's not who I am. I'm okay. We're working on it. Oh, I just picked here on a Jiang Long. Daniel Santos versus Jiang Li. Jiang Li's really good. So is Daniel Santos. I like Jiang Li. I think he's a really good fighter. I think he's going to like do well because he has the reach advantage in this fight. Daniel Santos is good as well. I just think that in this fight, Jiang Li's going to be a little bit better of an athlete and just be a little bit more dangerous. And they got the odds even. Like, again, it's a pretty close one. It could go either way, but I'm going to go with Jiang Li in this fight. All right, we got Marc-Andre Barriault versus Bruno Silva. This is a tough fight for both guys here. Marc-Andre Barriault is like kind of just this. He's a technical fighter, but he's not like a very like high level technical fighter. He definitely relies a lot more on just being gritty and just out cardioing, out pacing, and just mogging the shit out of people. And I think if he's gonna do that to anybody in this division, maybe I'm wrong, but I think he can do that to Bruno Silva. He is gonna have to watch out for not get hit with a big shot and get stunned or put out or TKO'd in this fight, because Bruno Silva's gonna have some good. Well, he's gonna have some huge shots coming Marc-Andre's way. But Marc-Andre's got a pretty good chin. He's proved that in a lot of his fights. But this is definitely gonna be one where he's gonna have to like try to mod Bruno Silva while being careful at the same time. I think if it gets into like the second, third round, he's definitely going to. He's definitely just gonna outdo Bruno Silva in this fight. Break Bruno Silva, out cardio him, whether he gets a finish or not. But I'm gonna go with Marc-Andre Barriault for this fight. I could see him finishing Bruno Silva. I could also see him getting finished by Bruno Silva. So tough fight, but I'm gonna go with Marc-Andre Barriault. We are 2 for 2 on the Canadians so far. Who would have guessed? Navajo Sterling versus Ivan Erslan. Dude, people have a lot of hype around Navajo Sterling, kind of because he's got like this Carlos Ulberg vibe, kind of like this, what do you want to say, like Israel Adesanya vibe that these guys had coming up. I don't think he's as good as either of those guys, and we saw how Carlos Ulberg is doing against the top of the division. I don't think he's as good as either of those guys. I do think he's okay. I do think he's a good fighter. He's 6-0, so he doesn't have a whole lot of experience. He's going against another big dude who's 14-4 with a lot of experience. In my personal opinion here, I think Navajo Sterling is going to beat this level of competition. I think it's going to be a tough fight for him, but I think he's going to get it done. I think if he's going to get it done, I think it's probably going to be a finish. But it's going to be a close fight, I think, in my opinion, honestly. Oh, we got the cube too. Ion Cutelaba, the White Hulk himself, bro, versus Modestas Bukauskas. Honestly, I just like voting for Ion Cutelaba like in every fight just because it's kind of funny to see what he's gonna do, bro. But he's got a tough fight ahead of him, man. Modestas Bukauskas is a big dude. He's a strong dude. He's gonna be in there with Ion Cutelaba like to throw bombs. I don't know. I have it's kind of a pick 'em one because it's kind of like they're both just gonna. Well, we'll see. Every time we have people that are gonna go and just throw down in the middle and just slug it out, half the time they don't. But I do feel like this is one of those fights that, for the most part, should just be two guys just, slanging leather. And it's tough because Ion Cutelaba, he KOs people, but he also has gotten KO'd a lot in his fights as well. They have a similar reach somehow and pretty similar height, honestly. I'm going to go with Ion Cutelaba, but my heart and my mind is honestly telling me Modestas Bukauskas is probably going to win this, but we're going to go with Ion Cutelaba just for lols. Up next we have Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Jessica Andrade. Really good fight, really tough fight. I think Jasmine Jasudavicius, man, that's a tough last name to say, is going to have her hands full with Jessica Andrade. Honestly, I think Andrade is a very, 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 very good fighter. She is at a pretty big height disadvantage in this fight, which is going to make it tough for her. But I never thought Jasmine Jasudavicius' striking has been like that next level where it's going to be able to like keep somebody at range and just stop them from closing the distance. I don't think she's going to outstrength Jessica Andrade. I don't think she's going to outgrit Jessica Andrade. She's not going to outpower Jessica Andrade. I think that for the most part in this fight, it's going to be Jessica Andrade trying to close the distance, but I think she will. She'll just take a shot or two from Jasmine, but it's not going to be anything with too much sting on it. And I think when Jessica Andrade closes the distance, she's going to hit her with something big that's going to hurt her, and she's going to find a TKO at some point in this fight, or she's just going to maul her. I don't think she's going to maul her on the ground, but I do think that she can, kind of hold her there and or up against the fence and cause enough damage or just score enough points to win this fight. So I'm going with Jessica Andrade. I think she's going to probably win this fight. I would love to see Jasmine win, but I do think she's probably got the upper hand in this fight. So that's my pick for that one there. This first non-Canadian I picked, which is a boomer, but it is what it is. Mike Malott versus Charles Radke. Honestly, I'm going to go with Mike Malott here right off the bat. Mike Malott is another Canadian, but he's pretty good. Mike Malott is very well-rounded. He's got really good grappling. He's got great striking. He has good cardio. We saw him in every one of his fights. He's performed very, very well. His last fight was, very boring, but when you come off of a loss like that and you have all this height and you lost making a really, really dumb decision at the end of the fight. Oh, so to be fair, I think Mike Malott kind of, I don't want to say gave up or quit or anything like that, but he probably could have made it out of that fight and still won with Neil Magny. It was the last seconds of the fight, and he basically just let it kind of slip away. You had to hold on for 10 more seconds, a couple more seconds. And he probably would have made it to the decision and won the fight easily. He was piecing up Neil Magny, doing everything he wanted to Neil Magny throughout the whole fight, and then he kind of slowed down and got just kind of let the fight get away from him. But I think he's readjusted from that, and I think after going through that experience for Mike Malott, I think it's going to make a big difference for him. He's going to have a tough fight against Chris Radke, but I think he's got it done. So I'm going to go with Mike Malott, and I'm going to go with Mike Malott by KO. Because I think he came off his last fight where he just fought a smart decision fight to get a win back and get in a winning column after coming off a loss. And now he's ready to, try to put on a show. So we got Benoit Saint Denis versus Kyle Popelchek, which is a crazy switch up because Benoit Saint Denis is supposed to fight. I don't know why I'm forgetting his name right now. Anyways, you guys know who he's supposed to fight beforehand. And 12-7. His record is not 12-7. Anyways, crazy. Yeah, so the UFC record for Kyle Popelchek is different than what his actual record is, I believe. Kyle was supposed to fight on Samurai MMA, which is like, I guess, our version, Canadian version of like Cage Warriors or LFA or whatever, like something like that. It's a newer promotion on the scene in Canada, but it's definitely one of the bigger ones already. And he was supposed to headline the fight, headline the main event against another guy, Michel Dufort from Canada. So he was prepared for this fight. It's, not like some guy who hasn't been training at all, but this is a guy who was supposed to fight in like, the LFA version of Canada's organization. And also, I believe, let's check out what his actual record is. Yeah, I believe it's way bigger than that. On Tapology, it's 18-8. I don't know if it's actually 18-8. It sounds 18-8 sounds about right. But yeah, he's supposed to fight Michel Dufort in Samurai MMA, like literally the night before on Friday night. So it's not changing too much for him, but it is a huge change in competition. I think it's a huge change in level of competition. Michel Dufort is a really, really good fighter. He's fought in PFL. He's had a bunch of big fights. He's not at like a Benoit Saint Denis level. I personally think he's not at a Benoit Saint Denis level of like hype and even just like, fights in the UFC and stuff like that against like the highest level of competition. But he is very, very good. And honestly, I actually had Michel Dufort to beat Kyle Popelchek in the Samurai MMA fight. So, they were looking, we all like, when we saw this fight fell out with Benoit Saint Denis, we were like looking at all like the cool, like lightweight matchups we can make with like people like Michel Dufort, guy named Rat Garbage, if you guys know him. He's actually a really sick fighter. There's a bunch of people from Montreal that could have fought outside of Kyle, but Kyle's a good option, and I understand why they went with Kyle, is because, Kyle's somebody who has fought in the UFC before. I don't know when he got dropped. I guess we're going to go watch. Oh, we got a little ad here, boys. Little boys. You got 2 fights in the UFC, which he both lost to Nordian Talbot and Austin Hubbard. And yeah, so that was his 2 fights in the UFC. That was coming into those fights, he was 13-5. And then he went on and Michel Dufort beat him in 2021. So again, Michel Dufort is somebody who has beat him for the title in Samurai MMA in 2021. He lost and then he won 2 more fights. Yeah, it's just one of those ones where like we look at it like he probably isn't like the highest level of like person that we could have filled the spot. And honestly, like if you think about it, you probably should just put Michel Dufort in there because he has like, beat Kyle before in the past. He is already the champ. I believe he's the champion at Samurai MMA, or did he vacate the belt to go to PFL? I'll have to remember and I'll have to go look. But anyways, I don't think Kyle Popelchek is going to beat Benoit Saint Denis. I just, if he does, it's going to be like a huge upset. But like they basically just trying to save this fight for Benoit and like, save the fight for the card by putting somebody on here. But it's going to be, look, they made the record 12-7. I don't know. There's just, in my opinion, it's just like it's not a layup for Benoit Saint Denis, but like for Kyle to win, it's going to be, he's going to have to do something crazy. And look at the odds. The odds are -1,000, right? So, anyways, also last minute to prepare for Benoit Saint Denis is not going to be fun for anybody. Alexa Grasso versus Natalia Silva. Dude, I like Alexa Grasso, and Natalia Silva ain't looking too bad herself. You know what I'm saying? Tough fight. Natalia Silva's really good. I think she's a really good prospect. I just think it's going to be hard for any girl in this division to beat the likes of Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso. I think those two are just... They actually have Natalia Silva as underdog, or as the favorite. I think Alexa Grasso is going to win. I think Alexa Grasso is good enough to win. She's had a lot of experience training and fighting against people like Valentina, training for Valentina and fighting Valentina. If you can do that and you can get through that, you're going to be very well prepared for somebody like Natalia Silva. So I do think she's going to beat Natalia Silva, but we will see. I might be wrong. I'm going for the underdog here. So who knows? But damn, these two girls are like the same height. They're like the same height as me, and they're like both like twice as jacked as me. I got some shit to do. I gotta get in the gym, bruh. Dude, we got Hawani at home versus Jose Aldo. Amy and Zahabi versus Jose Aldo. This is a crazy fight for Amy and Zahabi, and they have the odds pretty close, which I get, but it's gonna be a tough fight, man. Like, so obviously being Canadian, knowing like I go and train at TriStar sometimes, I have to go with Amy and Zahabi in this fight. Like, I just have to. There's no other way around it. But it's going to be a really tough fight for him. We did beat Pedro Munoz, like, in his last fight. So that, I think, is a really good, I was going to say, like, step up, but, like, warm up for somebody like Jose Aldo. If you can beat somebody like Pedro Munoz, you're on track to, you know, being able to get a win against somebody like Jose Aldo. I think the problem with this fight for Emil Zahabi is going to be, I don't think he has better striking than Jose Aldo, and I don't think he has the grappling to take down Jose Aldo or sub him. Like, nobody really. Jose Aldo's, like, again, his takedown defense is amazing, and Emil Zahabi isn't, like, you know, top level wrestler in the UFC. He's a really good grappler, he's a really good striker, he's very well all around. One thing I don't like that Amy Zahabi does in his fighting style is that he's kind of flat-footed. He kind of, you know, comes forward. He likes to go throw his jab like this, keep his arm up like this, or just cover up, let people land a couple shots, and then he'll throw back. If Jose Aldo is on his game tonight, and Jose Aldo, like, just wants to throw hard, when somebody goes like this and covers up, especially with 4-ounce gloves, you can just smash them. He's going to smash the calf kick against Amy Zahabi. If he does, like, let's say Jose Aldo actually wants to kick for once, which he hasn't been doing lately. But if he does, like, I think that calf kick's going to be there. The leg kicks are going to be there. I think Amy Zahabi's not as fast as Jose Aldo. He's got a really good jab. He's got Amy Zahabi's got a really good jab. He's got good boxing, but he's not the fastest guy. He's a little bit flat-footed, and I think a lot of the time when he goes to cover like this or just cover up like this, it's an opportunity for Jose Aldo to land like a 4-piece, 5-piece combination with power, like kind of Muay Thai style, where he can just, like, he's not going to, like, Amy Zahabi's not going to, like, step out of the way. He's going to, like, cover, he's going to, like, throw a jab, move in, try to, like, hit him with a couple shots, throw a leg kick, but then he's going to be there to be hit, and I think if Jose Aldo sits down on, like, a combination, he's going to do a lot of damage to Amy Zahabi. So it's going to be a very tough fight for Amy Zahabi. I do think he can win it. I think it's going to be a tough fight for him to win, but I'm, hoping he can win it and move on up. I mean, if he gets past Jose Aldo, he's on a great path to moving forward in this division. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. We're hoping he gets it done. Who knows? He might very well get it done. The odds have it decently close, so we'll see. Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot. I've only watched like one of Manon's fights, and I don't know how she's a favorite in this fight. I don't understand. Like, anyways, I think this isn't loading, so I'm just gonna exit out of it. But I think Valentina's gonna piece out Manon. Valentina's not gonna lose in the striking, in my opinion. And if Valentina is ever losing in the striking, she's so well-rounded, she's going to take her down and just smash her or submit her on the ground. Like, Valentina is going to go to whatever option's easiest for her. She's that well-rounded that she can grapple and strike with anybody in the division, no problem. And she's going to take the path of least resistance. Manon is a good striker, but outside of that, Valentina's got her everywhere. And I think Valentina's probably got her in the striking as well. So I'm going with Valentina. I think she's going to get it done. I think it's kind of... I don't think that one's obvious, but I think it's pretty obvious. I don't know, like, it's pretty obvious. Belal. Dude, Belal's been pissing me off, man, with his stupid ass references saying he's got Canelo hands. Like, no, what the fuck does that even mean, dude? Like, there's a reason people want to, like, his name's The Bully or Bully B or whatever, Belal, remember the name. It's honestly, he looks like a dried up potato. And he's really pissing me off just with it, calling himself Canelo. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, you could say, yeah, I got hands like Canelo, or like, yeah, I can box like Canelo, but don't just rock up and say Canelo hands. Like, first of all, you can't box for shit. Second of all, saying Canelo hands is retarded. Just is. I'm sorry. I think Belal has a really good chance of winning this fight, but I think JDM's grappling is actually really underrated, and I think we're going to be very surprised with how well Jack does again in the grappling against Belal. And I think the big thing is that, when Jack's fighting, he's always looking to cause damage, and he's going to hurt Belal, I think, at some point in this fight, and I think Jack Della Maddalena is going to get a finish in this fight. That's just my opinion. Belal isn't fighting somebody like Leon who's just trying to outpoint him and get a lucky shot. He's fighting somebody like Jack Della Maddalena who's going to literally look to cause damage at every second he can. And the moment he stuffs a takedown or the moment he gets out of a spot against the cage, first of all, Jack's going to be in a rush. Like, Leon's gets pushed up against the cage. He's going to accept that position for a little bit, then try to work his way out. Jack's not going to accept it. He's going to take any second he can to get out of those opportunities. I don't see Belal submitting him at all. I don't think Belal's going to mog him against the fence or mog him on the ground. I think Jack's going to be able to get out of these positions, and when he does, he's going to cause damage. I think he could get held there for a little bit, but I think he's going to cause damage in all these spots. Belal's not going to outbox Jack for sure. And even if Belal does, Belal's not going to cause damage in the boxing. Like, let's say Belal outlands Jack Della Maddalena in the boxing 3-1. Who cares? That one shot from Jack is going to be 3 times harder than Belal's, and it's going to cause damage. So I think Jack's going to win this fight. It's going to be a tough fight, but I think Jack's going to win it. I think he's going to win it by TKO or finish. So I don't think he's going to submit Belal, but I think he'll TKO him for sure, whether it's on the feet or on the ground. So those are my predictions for the fight card. I wish I could be there to watch it. It would be really fun to watch it. There's a great night of fights coming up on Samurai MMA the night before. We are rooting for our boy Tommy Morrison to win his next fight, 9-0. Louis Jourdain is also a really, really sick flyweight prospect as well out of Montreal area, Quebec area. He's really good. Both those guys for flyweight and Canadian MMA are really, really good. Michel Dufort obviously is fighting on the card. And there's a bunch of other dudes that are fighting lower on the card that are also really good as well. So if you have time Friday night, tune into those fights. And Saturday night, we're going to watch JDM piece up Belal, Valentina smoke Manon, and we're going to watch Hawani at home take the biggest upset dub against Jose Aldo ever. And Benoit Saint-Denis, maybe he will crumble to the infamous Kyle Prepolchek. Who knows? Anyways, it's going to be a fun fight card. I'm excited to see it. It's cool that it's in Montreal. I wish I could go, but I can't. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.